that you smoking, and it better be potent. This is BMH Town, you know how we get down. Round around and that got it, smoking on the exotic.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is the Indie Lounge, and this is Carlos Phoenix. I have another great episode with a group of guys who are very talented. They go by the name Digital MadHouse. And so it's a group of guys that have kind of combined to do, well, you know what? I'm always bad at this stuff, and you know that by now if you've been watching. So I'm going to let them do the introductions. I'm going to start with Tito in the center here. Tito, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Tito. I go by DJ Tito, and I'm kind of the founder, the Steve Jobs of this whole thing.
So Tito's been with us before, back in the early days. So if you go back quite a few episodes on the Indie Lounge, you'll see Tito, talented young guy. He was a kid, and now he's grown up. He's getting more mature, and he's kind of organizing his music to become this group. So tell us about the group. Introduce your counterparts here.
Well, we're Digital MadHouse, and as we're a music group, independent music group, and it's an honor to be here at the Lounge Magazine, at the Lounge Network.
It has changed, updated recently,
right? And we're basically here just to expand and really tell the people, and the Lounge Network supporters that, we're here and we're trying to actually, get serious with our craft and, maybe make the impossible possible.
So Tito gets a little nervous, so I'm gonna help him out a little bit. And it's cool, it's weird being in front of cameras and lights and stuff, so that's cool. So Digital MadHouse, you've been organizing, you've been putting some guys together. Introduce the guys you have with you, and then kind of give us an idea of what they do for Digital MadHouse.
Okay, sure. Well, as we start here, we have this is Lowski. He's been with us. He's been with Digital MadHouse since
the early days, the beginning,
right? from the start. And he's one of our artists, and he's had a few projects out in the past, and right now, as we're trying to expand, so is he as an artist.
Okay.
And that's Lowski. Here we have $100,000. He's actually our new member of Digital MadHouse. He's an artist. He's a producer, and he's also a manager.
Yeah, so he's handling some of the business aspects that you want to go with Digital MadHouse. And then this gentleman here.
Then here we have DJ Skywalker. He's the youngest member of our music group. He's our DJ, engineer, and basically a promoter.
Cool. So you're basically kind of organizing the group to be somewhat of a business,
right?
That's what it sounds like. And which is great and smart because we live in an age where the internet, has converted everything where you have to kind of handle business yourself. Particularly when you're independent, you can't always rely on the possibility of getting signed by a label and stuff. And nowadays, you almost don't have to. You can pretty much record and produce and stuff yourself, and then release the songs. You got iTunes, you got CD Baby, you got all these other online services to kind of help promote your music. So how have you been organizing the business side of things? We'll get into the music in a second, but it seems like the business is really the whole reason you're here is that you're now organizing. Right. So what kind of business decisions are you guys doing that's making Digital MadHouse a little bit more sustainable?
Well, we're trying to actually take everything step by step. We're trying to start off by getting from where I started off by, we got everything copywritten. We go from copyrights to distribution to basically just building a legit press. So that way we do what the label's supposed to be doing.
Right. Doing it ourselves, we can pretty much guarantee that we're going to get everything that we want done. Like as far as how we want it, when we want it, and the way we want to present it to the people.
Okay. So going with that, where are you learning what you feel are the processes to go from just putting some music together to getting it out there?
From ourselves, like each other.
I mean, is it trial and error?
Yeah,
or are you like is somebody studying it in school? I mean, how are you studying the process of making the business a business?
Zach is in school. DJ Skywalker's in school for engineering.
Okay.
Right now, I'm
like, I mean, when I was in high school, I worked with a lot of promotion and all that stuff. So I've seen a lot. Like, and I've just been waiting for. I've been waiting for like something to put the work into. So I just take what I know, take music we all put together, we work together. I engineer some things, they spit some stuff, and we just promote and push. And that's what we do. We're trying to.
Okay, so that's the promotional side.
Yeah.
Now, going from recording, how are you distributing? Like, what's your distribution model if you have one yet? In other words, are you putting out CDs? Are they, mixtapes as people used to call it?
The internet.
The internet is the guy.
Oh, internet.
Okay. Now, so internet is a pretty broad word. Are we talking about YouTube? Are we talking about like real distribution? Like I said, CD Baby, Amazon Music, iTunes Music, Google Music. Where are you aiming at those, or that's kind of what you're preparing and moving up to?
Well, we actually try to take it. We try to get different sources of that has a good amount of traffic. Maybe like independent websites, or maybe some mainstream websites like Live Mixtapes, World Star Hip Hop. I don't know if you've heard of World Star.
Oh, yeah.
World Star, right?
The dirty website. That's why I see it.
The more places we can get our faces is the better it goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a higher percentage once you're out there and exposing yourself to everything. Like, we're going anywhere from greenhits.com to Hot New Hip Hop, Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, DatPiff. We're trying to get everywhere. It's like mass conquest, pretty much. How we're trying to get everything out.
Well, I can understand that as your promotional websites to try and get, because obviously just sticking it on iTunes and nobody knows you exist there doesn't make any money. Right. So I get that part. So I'm guessing that this is the build up to be able to sell it, or are you able to sell using these distribution these websites now?
Not yet. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much it's just free promotion and everything like that. We pretty much are making money off of whatever events we do and shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we've been really trying to work towards getting booked and everything like that. Right now we're working on trying to get with the A3C Hip Hop Festival.
Okay, cool. Which
is it's a pretty much an annual festival for hip hop. It's a lot of people that come out there from, what I'm saying, Big Daddy Kane to Bun B. I'm saying a lot of artists, a lot of different styles coming for one music celebration to kind of appreciate hip hop better.
So since we're in the topic, the style of music you do is hip hop.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Tito is a very diverse person as far as an artist. He'll go from hip hop to R&B to pop music to pretty much anything he can get his hands on and like that he likes. He'll go for it. I'm strictly a rapper. Tito likes to get me to sing on certain tracks, like the highest single we got coming. I don't really think I have the voice for it, but Tito thinks that it can be done. I like to rap. I'm more of a conscious rapper. I like to really rap about, main issues and stuff like that. But I still like to have fun with my music too. So there are some records where I'll just get on and just decide to go however it feels, however it comes out, because really it's just an expression of how I'm feeling at the time sometimes.
And you will see more of 100 grand. You will see more of it.
I'm working on a project right now actually called Full Circle. It's a project I'm working on right now. We're pretty good into it. We're doing all the production for it, all the engineering for it, everything. And it's going to be pretty much really something to open their eyes. The whole theme behind Full Circle is that what goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? If you reflect positivity, you only get positive things back in your actions and what you do and everything. I'm just kind of pretty much just trying to express how I'm reaping the rewards of what I've been doing.
Very cool. So now, you're getting into these web pages. They're throwing out the music out there so that people can listen to it. You have your next steps already set up? I mean, you're performing places. What's next? What's the next strategy?
Well, right now we're working with different artists as a music group itself. as a whole. We're working on another different artists. Like we have Hayes, we have Marquel Fargo, and we basically just try to stay busy with all of the artists, year round. And we base it really varies on the artist. Like if the artist is, we put out the artist, and let's say if they get a big enough buzz around the city, then that's when we step in and we're like, okay, then we're gonna book parties, we're gonna book shows. We kind of do it. We take it one step at a time as a whole.
Okay. So who's doing the booking?
He is.
So you're doing the business
Right.
guy. You're the business guy. Cool. And so there's mostly it's local. I'm guessing nothing out of state.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Not
All
yet.
right. And then how have these websites been responding to you guys?
For the most part, they are pretty good promotion as far as starting off. They're good seeds and everything like that for it. But pretty much, you really got to be out there making the moves yourself, pretty much. But you can get certain amounts of exposure. Like we released Marquel Fargo's. He released the EP, did it in a day, put it out. 600 views within the first 2 hours.
Nice.
Still getting views today and downloads and everything. But pretty much the main way to get out there and to get things pretty much rolling is to try to get out there and do shows and do events and get known widespread instead of just what we are. We got to be real heavy on networking and real heavy on booking.
Right. So one thing I find interesting, and I've always been following Tito about, is Tito's self-taught, just in the music production side of things. You said you're going to school for engineering. What school are you going to? Say it again.
Right now, I go to Fort Valley State, but I plan on transferring to Georgia State.
All right, cool. But what I thought was really interesting, he also starts doing his own music videos, and they're, I find them not only interesting but a lot of fun, because you really. I'm not going to get into the effects. I'll throw one on the screen here while we're talking, but it just looks like a lot of fun. So not only just learning the music side of things and the business side of things, but you're also doing the video production side of things, because you got to create your own promotions. You got to, and so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, about the videos?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually started doing the videos when I was, when I first started with the whole Digital MadHouse. When we first started, I was taking a lot of practice on them, on Lowski and Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
I got to where I kind of got comfortable with the camera and with the program, and I didn't take it as serious as I should have, but I kind of took it as just enough to where we can get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I kept doing it, the more I got into it, and we were like, hey, we can do our own visuals, we can do our own sound, Yeah,
I mean, you're basically providing yourself all your own services that you would need, right? I mean, and that's I would say that's smart, but I think that word is too small. I think that's genius. Anybody who's getting into the industry, the lounge network included, you almost have to teach yourself how to build everything, teach yourself how to do everything, do it, and then hopefully be so good at it that people pay attention and then follow you or go after you or whatever. And then at some point, either you become just a straight out success because somebody caught a video that went viral, and then all of a sudden you got tons of fans and all that stuff. And if you can do that for yourself, that's just awesome. So it's very cool that you guys are organizing this, because these guys are really young. They're.
It's really all part of the dividing. It's really all part of the divide and conquer strategy. Like if we're gonna make it one way or another. Pretty much is the idea. Like if he's doing videos, I'm making beats, Zach is engineering. If any one of us can get a constant stream of revenue going, we can fund the entire project.
Sure.
It's pretty much all hands on deck with whatever we're doing. We're trying to get all of it so we can fund the whole entire thing.
And the beauty of it all is it's not run by ego. When I first started doing any of this stuff and interviewing people, everybody was so very individualistic, because they're like, well, I am the core of all the talent and all that stuff. And the way I look at it is, you know what, that may work for some people, sure. But I think if you get a group of talented people and join together and be able to form an organized mental strategy, then you can put together fully functioning projects with much less effort, much less money, and then still be able to succeed and accomplish the goals. So
it's really what we've been doing, actually, what I've been learning pretty much, because when I first started producing, I didn't know very much about it. And I was just going freehand with it and pretty much everything. And Tito, he started producing, he had a knack for it pretty much anyway, because he played drums. So he was pretty much building all the drum line and stuff like that. I played trumpet. So we ended up putting it together. He created the drum beats and I created the melody, and we just came up with a certain sound that we're doing right now, and it's just working for us. So that's how we're doing it.
So there's some music that you guys put together. There's one that I'd like to play. So what song would you like me to put on right now? Let's introduce it to the folks.
It's got to be between I and living my life. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's put on Thank You, and then I'll put another one a little bit later in the episode. This is Thank You.
Yes.
Hey yo, I used to make music about the struggle you could cry for. Now I love my life so much it's something I would die for. I used to chase pretty women riding on their high horse. Now I take in the sunshine until my eyes sore. Rhyme for anyone who asks me what I rhyme for. My cousin said I'm ill, man. Thank you for the kind words. Sorry for the slippage, I was thinking it was my girl. Had to leave my girlfriend for thinking she was my girl. I gotta be slipping, man. I gotta be high, or if there was no gravity, I spend time in the sky more. Life is like a movie, man. I'm feeling like a cyborg, about to kill my enemies that's creeping through the side doors. I get up on my knees and ask for better days. Sometimes I close my eyes so I can get away. Dreaming about my dream girl, I wonder would she ever stay. Maybe if I ask out, I wonder would I get a date. Sometimes I close my eyes so I can meditate. Affected with the man, the doctors couldn't medicate. Affected with her love, and like everything she does, it's the coldest winter ever, yo, you better get some gloves. I swear to the heavens up above.
That was Thank You. What I really took from Thank You was, it was the type of track where, like, we really wanted to show appreciation to the fans who do listen to our music, and to kind of express that we appreciate that in the fact that we're not the type of music, we're not the same type of music that most people are listening to nowadays. And to be able to take your eyes off of what everybody's seeing to look outside the box and stuff like that, that takes effort and dedication. And the people who are willing to go do that, we just wanted to kind of give them a token of appreciation and to express how we felt about that.
So who wrote that, or was that a collaboration?
That was a collaboration between me and Tito. See, I approached Tito. I mean, Tito approached me with the song, and I just thought it was a genius idea to begin with, just because when Tito lays the chorus down, like, pretty much it's sold. Like, if I hear the chorus and I like the beat, if Tito's on the chorus, it's pretty much going down regardless. Like, Tito's cool. Nice. He's nice. He really can get an idea. I don't know. He really can get an idea of the type of music I like, regardless. So,
okay, very cool. So, I mean, I like the. I mean, it's soft and gentle song, and I'm not trying to cheese it out, but it is. You know, it's got that piano melody in it, right?
Yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit about that? Where you started coming up with that, or?
Well, it was the record itself, the track. It was produced by a friend of ours. His name is actually Nova, and shouts out to Nova for producing the track for us. And it was actually laying in my email for about a good year, and he sent it to me, and I really like, what really got my attention was the drums, the drum line itself. So we were like, okay, it sounds good. And we went in there and we added a good synth and, maybe a few extra hats and stuff like that. And we just kind of brought the song together and made it what it is now. So
there's another track that you guys wanted to put out. Tell us a little bit about that track before I put it on. Right.
Well, this is actually one of my personal favorites. Well, just because of the topic of the song, which is it's called "Live Your Life."
Okay.
and it was produced by Feel the Beat. Feel the Beat. He's a great producer. He actually lives in Germany. And,
okay, yeah, you've told me about him, yeah.
And he actually produced the record. And what I like most about that record is that it kind of has, you know, in the beginning of the song, I say that I'm living inside my mind, and that kind of means like that just me realizing that I'm living inside my mind. It made me realize who I'm really up against, which is myself, you know, and
a little freaky to me, but okay. It was really a record that was meant to be more for the youth, you know, it was supposed to be a positive song, you know. So, all right. So let me see if I'm understanding you. So live inside your mind. It's kind of like when a teenager's chilling in his room and he's like, you know, they think that life is at its worst possible. You know, it's teenager, right? So life sucks. No matter how good it is, life sucks, and you're stuck in your room and you're looking at the walls and you feel like you're living inside yourself. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're older than a teenager, you may not understand the song. But if you remember what it's like to be a teenager, it will totally make sense.
Well, see, the most dangerous part about being a teenager, and what I think the song really hits on really well, is pretty much at this point in life, like you just graduating out of high school and stuff like that, you got all these expectations, but you really might have a passion for something that people don't really expect you to do. You know what I'm saying? And eventually you just got to accept the fact that it's your life. You got to live it how you're going to live it. Like nobody's going to ever be able to approach life the way that you're going to do it. Like it's your carbon footprint, pretty much, your story. Whatever you have behind what you're going to do, you got to do it with your full passion and just be able to do what you really dream about doing and how you feel about everything.
All right, now tell me how old you are.
I'm 20.
So you're 20. Okay, so you graduated, what, a few years ago, I guess?
Yeah, I graduated.
So 20-year-old, you know, that's a lot to say out of, you know, just graduating from high school and understanding a perspective of life.
I had a lot of time to think to myself.
He was living inside himself too.
I went to military school my last year, and it just gave me a lot of isolation time and just really time to just think and reflect on what I want to do with my life and what life is about, really, to me. And just gave me a lot of time to just get deep rooted and understand myself. Everybody needs to spend time with themselves eventually.
So, all right. So let's take a listen to this song.
Live your life, 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 live your life. Living inside my mind, let me realize who I'm up against. Living in a dimension where indeed nothing is free, I guess. But it's nothing, just make it into something so special. When it all falls down, you come around town, you looking so astounding. Now I'm like, wow, I guess I deserve a price for being so real. I'm never gonna change, look at my smile. How does it feel? It feels so good. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Even though I'm living life right now, I will always know what I came for. Tonight we party, and I don't wanna end. So rock Bacardi, and got a couple friends. If you ain't know that DMH was in the building, put your hands up to the ceiling. Let the rain come down all around this town. Let the memories live in my mind. Living redemption for the attention. Live forever, living the life. Your life, live the life.
So that was Live Your Life. And we already got an idea of what that's about. So that's pretty cool. I like the the melody. That intro is kind of freaky. When I heard the intro, I didn't expect the rest of the song to sound the way it did.
Right.
So that's kind of neat. So what's next? What's going on with you guys?
Well, now we're actually working on new projects and we're working on new material. Right. We're working on we're currently working on about 3 or 4 projects. One of them.
Okay, when we say projects, are you talking about songs or a video or a movie? I mean, what are you talking about?
It can.
Mixtapes, okay.
I kind of just, when I say project, I'm referring to everything.
Like, okay.
We're busy with that project. We're currently working on videos right now. We're currently working on songs and everything. We're pretty much working on everything. We got our hand in pretty much the big deal level. We're working on songs.
All right, so break it down for me.
Right now, we got about four mixtapes we're working on right now.
Okay.
And with another independent artist, Markwell Fargo, that makes 5. That Tito's been doing an incredible job on. He's really a master behind the boards. We got Lowski. Lowski's coming out with a banger. I'm talking about. It's guaranteed to go.
So Lowski, let's talk to you because you've been the silent guy. So what have you been banging about?
Pretty much everything, man. Just everything about life. You know, if you growing up, you know, if you growing up in New York or anywhere you growing up, because I feel like everywhere you live is danger and everything. So you just got to refer to everything when it comes to life and music. Just put it all on the track, how you feel, express yourself. Hopefully people could relate to it. And if they can't, then hopefully they could vibe to it, you know, just like it, like for the music, the sound, you know, same way as they like the club songs in the clubs and everything. They like the sound, not the lyrics.
I hear you. No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, Lowski I've known for a little while, along with Tito, and I find you to be an interesting character as a human being, because when I've hung out with you guys, when I've seen you and stuff, Lowski is like a very subdued, quiet, shy kind of character. But when you hear him rapping or getting into the music, you're like, who's this guy?
That's funny.
So you know, I mean, I wanted to share that with you because I'm sure I'm not the only person that's seen that.
Exactly, yeah. I've done that more.
But so where's that coming from?
Well, growing up and being raised in New York, you know, the population is big. Everybody talks a lot. I don't know, like I've always been a quiet person, like coming up, even living in public housing areas and everything with all kind of crazy people. I was always just a quiet person, you know. And then I had a chosen few of friends that like that about me. So I pretty much just what you sing about? Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
What I rap about?
Yeah.
Oh, it comes from my youth. Yeah.
So let's get some background.
All right.
You know, because people don't know you.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. They may have heard a song, perhaps. You know, we played a couple of things here.
Mm-hmm.
But who are you? Or like, give us a background of how you grew up, and you know, where's the nitty gritty coming from?
I grew up in Staten Island, New York, and I've lived with my dad and stuff like that, grandma, different boroughs in New York and everything like that. So yeah, I've grown up in New York, and that's pretty much my background. I'm Dominican, and I grew up a whole bunch of black people. And I was probably the only Spanish kid in my neighborhood. I'm not lying. I was probably the only Spanish kid there.
You know what's funny about that? I grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
Which sounds like, oh, it's just Queens.
Mm-hmm.
But where I grew up in Queens would be like the Queens version of the hood.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I lived in a building, really nasty building, rats and the whole 9 yards. And I'm not going to make it sound like I'm going to start hip hop rapping about myself. But yeah, it was pretty nasty. And in the building, no offense to blacks, was mostly blacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Latino, in case you didn't know that Carlos was a Latin name. I know I look very pale, very white, but when I was living there, I was the bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when I'd step outside to play as a kid, I'm like, white boy, and boom, it's like it's like jumping on the star.
Yeah.
And so I come back home with a black guy and mommy and all that stuff, and that's kind of like that's my youth, nobody, I don't think anybody knew I was Latino, because usually I hear that Latinos and blacks, they just kind of chill together, but I never got that opportunity to say hablo español, none of that. So but what's cool is as I grew up in that neighborhood, then this is all elementary schools type stuff. As I grew up, these became my buddies.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, I remember when I used to kick your ass. Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, let's not talk about that now. So So that's how I grew up. And it sounds like that's kind of like, because you're kind of tiptoeing around it. Like, yeah, I just grew up in this location.
Yeah.
But you're not mentioning anything of what it was like.
Oh, okay. Well, it was sort of like, say, I mean, I didn't get bullied or anything, like I would say, but maybe one time in the 7th grade, I got jumped because they wanted my sneakers and my Scarface shirt. This is when Scarface was big. You know, everybody wanted to buy the Scarface shirts and everything. And
well, see, these are the kind of stories people want to know.
Exactly, yeah. So this is the stuff you will hear in my music. If you listen to Lowski, if you go on YouTube and everything, all these websites where you can find our music, this is what you'll hear. You'll hear a lot of life events that have gone on in my life. Like, so now, since this is like my first official interview, thanks to Carlos. So I get to tell people that, you know.
No, that's great.
I've never had an interview, but I have a lot of material you can find on the internet. People be like, "Oh, who's that?" That's just Lowski, you know,
right?
Spanish kid, you know, black, whatever. People think I'm mixed, all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, and the thing is, when you share your life experiences, you realize how much people have similar experiences.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of us keep it quiet, and you know, and I know this is all about like music and stuff like that, but in truth. Most of the talents that I've interviewed, everything is based on their life experiences. And the only reason music and entertainment become successful is because we tap into what people can relate to. And we don't realize how much everybody have actually lived similar lives, like living in your own head. You would be surprised that, you know, even though you're in this room where you're staring at the same four walls, is that other millions of teenagers have been sitting in their rooms looking at the same four walls and thinking the same type of thoughts. And as much as we'd love to live a life of being unique, in reality, we're kind of the same. And it's pretty wild because we're striving to be different, but really everybody wants to be different. And at some point, all that difference is the same thing.
Exactly.
So it's pretty wild. And music and kind of the type of things that you're pursuing is really just the expression of all that. Well, that was deep.
That's true.
And it's over. So what is next? Well, okay. All right. So where can people find you?
Well, actually, you can find us on Google. You can just type in Digital MadHouse. Or you can find us on YouTube, type in Digital MadHouse, or you can find us on Twitter. Twitter, you can find his Twitter is at Lowski718. You can find me on Twitter is at Real DJ Tito. You can find him on Twitter.
100 grand, and that's with a K, not the actual word grand, just the number 100 and K _DMH.
Got it.
Digital MadHouse.
And on Twitter, you can just type in DJ Skywalker, and it should come up. And
then if there's one other member, Hayes, you want to let us know how to find Hayes?
Yes, you can actually find Hayes. You can find him on Twitter as well as at Planet Hayes, PL4, as Planet Hayes. You can also, if you want to find us on YouTube, you know, easier way to find us on YouTube will be to type in the artist name, like Lowski. For example, like if you want to find Lowski, you can type in Lowski Digital MadHouse, and Lowski will come up. If you want to find me, you just type in DJ Tito Digital MadHouse, and you'll find me. You know, and this is.
And I'm going to put a lot of that stuff right under here. So if you're on the loungenetwork.com, or even on YouTube, or even on Blip TV, wherever you find our videos, it shall be right under here. So you'll see some of the links there. Anything else you want to plug? Anybody?
Just a lot of stuff we'll be out on the lookout for. Digital MadHouse Forever. So EP we're coming out with just pretty much as a label. It's coming out July the 4th. Be on the lookout on your YouTube accounts for MadHouse TV. It's going to be insane. It's pretty much our life version of a reality show in MadHouse.
And now you're saying you're releasing something. Now, what does that mean? Where can somebody get one or find it?
We're gonna blast it. Dad Piff, Hot New Hip Hop, pretty much.
And are these downloadable files that people have that have the ability of getting, or how can people download a song from you?
Well, what we plan to do is with this upcoming project, which is DMH Forever. It's an EP. We're actually trying to treat it kind of like an album, but not necessarily a full album. It can be an album. You can actually You can actually find this on. You can find that on iTunes once we do release it, July the 4th, DMH Forever, and you can either that or you can.
So it is going to be on iTunes,
right? Yes.
Okay. So what I'll do is when it releases, we'll have a little something on the website and we'll have the link to that.
Also, we're gonna put it on iTunes, but at the same time, we are giving it out for free. So to any of you that would like to support the movement, that would like to support any one of our artists, just feel free to buy it. It's probably be about $7 or $8 on iTunes. And
now, why would you do that? Like, why would you release it for free?
Because yeah,
we pretty much know how it is as far as the struggle goes. The struggle is real, and sometimes.
So you're using a strategy that like Radiohead and a few other known artists are using.
The whole concept is, what I'm saying, the fans got to feel some kind of connection to you. They got to understand that you understand. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like some people just can't afford, and then they. You know what I'm saying? You look, the moms can't afford it, you know what I'm saying? But you really want this CD, you got to find some way to find it. And, you know what I'm saying? There will be stuff that they can strictly buy, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of.
More like in the future.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, I think that's a great idea. All right. So I guess that pretty much takes care of things. Make sure you check out the links below and follow our artists here and help support them. Is there anything else you want to say?
Once again, we are thankful for you having us here. We're really excited to be here.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming.
Yes, and be sure that you guys stay tuned because the Lounge Network is going to be the Lounge Network. You'll see.
Of course.
We are Digital MadHouse.
Well, thank you for watching. Please stay on our website. Check out other artists that we have here. There's other shows on the links above. There's web series. There's a lot of stuff that the Lounge Network is putting out there for you guys to enjoy. Thank you again for watching. And that's it. Have a good night.
Thank you.